Coming up on this edition of Out of the Blue from Middle Tennessee State University, we reintroduce you to the new director of the Africana Studies program in the College of Liberal Arts. We talk about the services provided by MTSU Counseling Services for our student body. And we preview the Positive Aging Conference and highlight some of the topics under discussion. I'm Andrew Ottman, and this is Out of the Blue. Welcome to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Dr. Ananija Bakari is the Director of Africana Studies in the College of Liberal Arts. He joins us to talk about the program and its activities and plans for the coming year. Well, Dr. Bakari, thank you for joining us on Out of the Blue.
Thank you for having me.
So you're the new director of a great program. Can you describe your ambitions for the Africana Studies program and where you hope it'll go in this academic year?
This is my second pony ride as a director. I was director for about 10 years before. Dr. Bindman, Dr. Woods have done a really good job of leaving me a program that's, I think, first class. And going into the new school year, we're looking to really introduce the program to more students, to more faculty, to more staff. I think that's one of the things that COVID has done is smaller programs have kind of, been pushed behind, not by the administration, but by the fact of life. Students have so many things that they're doing, and we haven't had time to really, time or the ability to really advertise the program on campus and, knock on doors, set up tables and those type of things over the past year. So that's really what we're looking to do to grow the program.
And it's fantastic. You're on the show. So let's talk about an elevator speech. If I'm a prospective student, give me just the short speech on why your program, what it offers, and what are its opportunities.
Students lots of times say, I like learning more about African American studies, about African American people, about my history, my culture. But my mom or my dad says I need to be in a real major or minor. And it makes me laugh because I understood that also. I started off as a chemistry major at Tuskegee. So I tell students I understand their dilemma. Their dilemma is finding a major that they love with their heart, or finding a major or minor that they believe will pay the bills. But, Michelle Obama was an Africana Studies major as an undergraduate, and she went on to law school, and, we know the rest of the story. So that this is a major and minor that you can do a multitude of things with. That you could go to graduate school, you could go to law school. 14% of the nation, the population, are African American people. So any business that says we're not interested in 14% of the population, they're not going to stay in business. So as a AFAM minor and a business major, or vice versa, business minor, African American Studies major, you tell the company that you're working for, I know something about the African American community. I know something about their likes and dislikes and their history. So this is a viable major and minor for any dream or aspirations that students might have.
The College of Liberal Arts already has a proven track record of making sure its programs are producing students who think critically, who broaden their horizons, who who really can approach problems from different perspectives. I'm confident that when you talk about the opportunities in your program, you're including Africana Studies as among those types of majors that really open your eyes about things, that maybe change your perspective and give you new ideas.
You know, for most students think Africana Studies or African American history is just about the history, but it's much broader than that. We teach classes out of a multitude of, it's an interdisciplinary major and minor. So we have classes in dance, in art, in music, in social work, in sociology, and we're working on a criminal justice class right now. So we've got a multitude of classes across a multitude of disciplines, so that, you know, these classes make students think, they make students question. In all of our classes, we encourage new faculty to help students with research papers, help students with writing, help students with presentation skills. So we're doing all of those things, but the emphasis is on African Americans or African people in the diaspora. It might be Jamaica, it might be the Bahamas, it might be Central America. That's just our emphasis.
Talk about your journey to Middle Tennessee State University. You mentioned Tuskegee in your chemistry major, but from there, Northeastern Illinois University in Temple. So how did that progression lead you to MTSU?
You know, I was working as a graduate student at Temple, working on my PhD. I started looking, and I thought maybe I would stay in Philadelphia, you know, find a part-time position and teach. So I'm looking through the ads for faculty members and saw the position at MTSU. Spoke to my graduate director, and she says, "Oh, sure." She says, "I don't think you'll probably get the position. You don't have any teaching experience." She said, "But interviewing is always good. You know, it's good to start to get used to interviewing." So I was very relaxed at the interview, and, you know, because I wasn't under any pressure to really get a real job, right? I didn't think I was I was going to get it anyway. So I got called back for a campus interview. Lo and behold, I told my advisor, and she said, "Well, that's serious." She said, "You know, usually they only bring 2 or 3 people on campus." She said, "You got a good chance." So going to Tuskegee, I had a feel of what the South was like. I'm from Chicago, but it was really a culture shock, you know, coming South. And, you know, I was surprised that people were so friendly. You know, being a Northerner, you just hear that, you know, the South was all the things we might think in the North, you know, backwoods, but I've really enjoyed my time at MTSU.
Well, Dr. Bakari, the once again new director of the Department of Africana Studies in the College of Liberal Arts here at MTSU. Professor, thank you for joining us on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back.
The Charlie and Hazel Daniels Veterans and Military Family Center, located at Middle Tennessee State University, is the largest and most comprehensive on an academic campus in the nation. We lost our patriot Charlie on 6 July 2020. The creation of the Generals Fund was his last public event in support of our military.
So many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the General Fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
It's very important just for me personally that they offered this fund, and I feel like there are a lot of students on campus like me whose benefits run out and they aren't aware of that. To be the first recipient of the Generals Fund is truly an honor. I'm the person that if I'm the spokesperson or the face of something, I want to do it to my best ability and just to help share this experience with other students just like me who are military dependents on MTSU's campus that can receive help from the Daniels Center, because everything here in this center is just here to help us. What the Generals Fund means to me, it's a help when I'm falling. So if I'm struggling or anything, I know I can come to the Daniels Center and they have me, they have a help for me, they have a way to figure things out.
Join us, contribute to the continuation of Charlie's legendary support of our military.
Middle Tennessee State University offers more than 100 master's and doctoral degrees designed for working professionals. Many of MTSU's graduate programs are offered partially or completely online. More information is available at mtsu.edu/graduate.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. MTSU Counseling Services has always provided vital services and support for our students. Here to tell us more about what they offer is Dr. Mary Kay Anderson, Director of the program. Well, Dr. Anderson, thanks for joining us on Out of the Blue. We appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So for our viewers who may not be familiar with what Counseling Services is and what it provides, can you give everyone an overview of your organization?
So our center consists of 6 counselors and 1 psychiatrist and another psychiatrist that works part-time. So we basically have 1 counselor in the office every day. And we offer short-term brief treatment intervention. With a staff of 6 counselors, we have tried to really offer an array of different services besides just individual counseling. And that really came through during the pandemic of offering different services in a whole different environment so that we could still provide services to the students even remotely.
I know now more than ever the services by Counseling Services are very important to our campus. The pandemic has caused you to pivot a great deal. Can you talk about how that has changed your operation?
Sure. So believe it or not, we were able to transition in 10 days when in March of 2020, the pandemic hit and everyone went remote. We had never been set up for telehealth. We had to research what was the best platform to use with confidentiality of the highest priority and train all of our staff on how to work in a different way of delivering your service delivery instead of in person. And so that worked pretty seamlessly. And honestly, students were at first unsure of whether that would work for them, and now they love it. And so even with us being back in person this fall, we are still offering telehealth as an option. So far, students are about 60% preference in person, but still many are comfortable with having telehealth as an option as well. So it's something that was introduced in the pandemic, and we decided to keep it. It's another convenience for students.
We love to hear stories about that, how the things that we learned and applied during that crisis and how that can really help us as we try to return to more normal footing. If I wanted to find you on campus, where are you located? How do I engage with you?
So we're located on the 3rd floor of the Keithley University Center, so the KUC 326. And students can either walk in or call for a same-day appointment. What we do with our center is we do not want to be in a situation where students have to wait for access to care. I think that's one of the most important things is we don't want students who are really struggling to wait 2 or 3 weeks just to have that opportunity to speak with a mental health professional. So we've designed a model that students can walk in and it's a 30-minute screen that they can meet with a licensed mental health professional, one of our staff counselors, and they'll explain to the counselor what is going on with them, and our counselor will help them with different options they have for services, including short-term counseling, but we also offer groups, and we also help get them connected to providers in the community if their needs are more intense or chronic or specialized than we could provide.
And is cost a factor in any of your services if I'm a student?
Not at all. Our services are free to students. The only caveat to that is they have to be currently enrolled in the current semester. There's no requirement for number of credits. It could be 1 credit. But we sometimes have students who are enrolled for an upcoming semester, and we let them know that once they start classes, they are welcome to receive services with us.
I know you're doing other outreach as well. I know getting information out there about topics such as suicide prevention and other forms of self-care is important to you. Can you talk about some of those things?
Sure. This month is Suicide Prevention Month. And so through the month of September, we're doing different programming to talk about suicide. And one of our big ones that we're pulling together is a Suicide Prevention Fair, which is going to be September 22nd in front of the Student Union outside in the Commons. And we've got multi-departments that are helping with this. Tennessee Suicide Prevention Network will be there also. And we're going to have a lot of activities that provide information and education about suicide, signs to look for, resources, crisis numbers will be available. But the fair also includes preventive. How can you do good self-care? How can you be in tune with yourself so you don't get to a point where you're feeling so awful that that's something you might be considering? And so we're going to have rocks painting, and we're hoping that these painted rocks that are going to have really positive messages and affirmations are going to be put across campus, and like an Easter egg hunt. And so students can drop them off and leave it there, and hopefully someone who needs it will come and take it. And this has been done at other campuses, and it's been very well received to kind of stumble upon these little positive rocks and put them somewhere else. Or maybe that's one that's really important to a student. They may want to keep it. We're also going to do make your own stress balls. So there's just going to be a lot of activities to do, and an opportunity to learn more about suicide and ways that you can help yourself or someone else, so that that's not something that one life is too many that's lost to suicide. And that's the message we want to get across.
So Dr. Anderson, just want to remind our viewers the time and date for the Suicide Prevention Fair is?
Yes, it's September 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Fantastic. I want to wrap up with a question, and I realize this might be generic, and I realize everybody's unique and special, but is there a common piece of advice that you could pass along that when you're dealing with someone that's trying to balance all the stress and balance all the uncertainty of the year, a good piece of coping advice to pass along?
Yes, I think a good one that I often give to students is that oftentimes our mind can feel like a runaway train, and that we're just along for the ride. But the reality is that we are the engineer, we're the driver of that train, and we can put the brakes on. And so often we allow our thoughts to run us instead of us run our thoughts. And one thing that I love to say to students is, don't believe everything you think. Just because you think it doesn't make it true. And that can really be a surprise of, well, I never thought of it that way. But if you fail a math test and you say to yourself, gosh, I stink at math, that's a thought that you had, but that doesn't make it true. And so to not believe everything you think, I think that's a good piece of advice to remind students of.
And what a great way to end this segment. Dr. Anderson, thank you for explaining and describing all the great things that Counseling Services provides to our campus. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And we'll be right back.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
I am True Blue.
As a member of this diverse community,
I am a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I'm engaged in the life of this community.
I'm a recipient and a giver.
I am a listener and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I am committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner.
Now and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I'm a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
so many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. The MTSU School of Nursing and the Center for Health and Human Services will partner in the month of October to present the Positive Aging Consortium, an innovative and enlightening discussion about aging. Here to tell us more about what this will be are Professors Deborah Lee and Cynthia Chafin. Well, Professor Lee, Professor Chafin, thanks for joining us on the program, and let's talk about the Positive Aging Consortium. Professor Lee, what does positive aging mean?
Well, thanks for having us, Andrew. Well, positive aging can have several different meanings. You might also hear it referred to as healthy aging or successful aging, but it really is this process of multidimensional avoidance of disease and disability. And then as we age, maintaining a high physical capacity and high cognitive capacity, and also this idea of keeping our connections with other people and having purpose. All those things together really are what we talk about when we talk about positive aging.
And so, Professor Lee, this will be the topic of the symposium. And do you already have dates set for the symposium?
Yeah, so next month, October 15th, is when we are set to have our first inaugural Positive Aging Consortium here at MTSU. And we are planning to hold it with the requirements that the university has. And if things change and we are not able to hold it in person as we hope next month, we're just going to postpone it because it's very important to us that we do this in person to accomplish what we want to accomplish with our community partners. And we are very committed to having a safe, responsible conference that people feel that they want to attend and can be safe attending.
Well, let's knock on wood and hopefully we get to that point where we can stay at that point where we can have this in person. So Professor Chafin, can you talk about the Center for Health and Human Services and your involvement in this symposium?
Yeah, absolutely. The Center for Health and Human Services has a mission of better health and well-being for Tennesseans, and that supports very much the mission of the Positive Aging Consortium and the conference. So we are very happy to support the efforts of the consortium. I have been a member of the planning committee for the conference. We've been planning this conference now for 2 years. So the Center for Health and Human Services actively participates on the conference planning team. And we also have worked with the consortium on several grant applications to support positive aging. We have worked on a couple in the past and have another one that we're going to hopefully submit in the spring. So we very much support the mission, and it parallels our mission as well.
Well, that's fantastic. Professor Lee, 2 years in the making. What's going to be happening at this conference? Who's your keynote and some of the elements of the conference itself?
Yeah, 2 years in the making. We were initially going to hold it in 2020, but that didn't happen. So our keynote speaker is Dr. Julie Sweetland, and Dr. Sweetland will come to us from Frameworks Institute. And we are thrilled because they have done an amazing job working throughout the country on an initiative called Reframing Aging. And the topic of her conversation, or her topic of her speaking to us, will be building momentum and changing mindsets. So what that really means is that we tend to think of aging in sort of in two categories. On one end of that category is that people live their lives retired, it's a life of leisure. And the other side is that people live in continuing decline physically and mentally. And the reality is it's somewhere in between. So when we talk about what we're going to be talking about at the conference, it really is about aging and reframing it from the perspective of a time of accumulated wisdom and knowledge, and those experiences moving us forward to new experiences and new capabilities as we age. So moving away from how we have typically thought about it to a place where it is a more positive occurrence in life when we tend not to think about it that way.
Wow. Well, Professor Chafin, what did she miss? She covered a lot.
She did cover a lot. That is going to be a wonderful keynote. And to supplement that keynote message, we have a variety of presentations that people would expect when you hear the term positive aging. We will have topics that focus on nutrition and healthy eating, being physically active, as well as healthy brain. So we have those types of topics. As mentioned earlier, Dr. Lee spoke about socialization and the importance of being connected. We'll have topics related to that. And financial health is also a very important part of our overall well-being. So we will have topics on financial health as well as avoiding scams and things of that sort. So it'll be a great lineup of speakers. We actually have a lot of our expert faculty members who are speaking in conjunction with community partners. So it will be a tag team effort to address these topics. Some of our community partners involve AgeWell. They include AgeWell Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, the St. Clair Street Senior Center in Murfreesboro, NHC, and Eden Alternative. We are really excited to have them all as partners and speakers.
So, Professor Chafin, when you talk about a symposium and you design a program like this, who are you hoping will be in the audience? Who's your target, I guess, is the right way to ask that.
Well, that is a great question. We, of course, hope to have older adults from the community participate, as well as caregivers, anyone who cares for an older adult, either in a personal or professional capacity. Of course, we hope to have our MTSU community as participants, faculty, staff, students, all are welcome to register and attend the conference. We'd especially like to have students who are in our aging studies minor or the postgraduate certificate in gerontology. We would really welcome those students and encourage their participation. Everyone who leaves the conference will have an opportunity to examine what will I do differently as a result of participating in this conference. And our great speakers will be the ones who lead the charge there.
Fantastic. And Professor Lee, where do I sign up? How do I get involved in this?
Well, you can go to the Positive Aging Consortium website, and that address is mtsu.edu/PAC, which stands for Positive Aging Consortium. And on the website, you can get all the latest updates and information about the conference, and you can register to attend the conference. All of the registration is going to be handled online, so we're not going to have any on-site registrations that day. So please go to the website to learn more and to register to join us.
Well, fantastic. It sounds like a lot of work has gone into this program by the both of you, and I know it's been a busy summer to get ready for this. Looking forward to a good event in October. Professor Lee, Professor Chafin, thank you for joining us on Out of the Blue to talk about this upcoming symposium.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And that does wrap up another edition of Out of the Blue. You can find news about the campus 24 hours a day by going to our website, mtsunews.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for additional special content. And a reminder, for updates on the university's response to COVID-19, go to our website for that, mtsu.edu/coronavirus. I'm Andrew Ottman. Stay safe, stay on course, and remain true blue.